Okay, Unit 1, we're going to be talking about comments, and if we have time, talk about the import statement as well. There's going to be a several part series, mainly because I only get 15 minutes per recording. So, and Chapter 1 is, or Unit 1, it's a very big chapter, a lot of topics to cover. I open up JCreator, and they usually give you a message here, and you can go ahead and close that. And what we're going to do is go up to File, hit New, and creating a new file. Again, I'm going to make sure the folder Java class is selected, and then come down here to where it says main class. This is where we're going to do all our programming for now until we get into classes. Okay, and I need to give it a name, and it's always good, again, to start a name of a class with a capital letter. So since this is Unit 1, I'll just call it Unit 1 Part 1. Okay, and again, notice there's no spaces. There should not be any spaces when you're naming a class, and it should start with an uppercase letter. Okay, and I'll finish that, and let me move my screen over so you can see it all. And this comes up, and notice it's Unit1Part1.Java, and the name of my class is Unit1Part1. And it's very important that these two names match. They must match for it to work. And notice I have another Unit1Part1, and this is what we call a constructor. These braces stands for begin, and this brace here matches up with this one down here. And if you can see, it's highlighted. I know it's kind of not that bright, but it's highlighted. This begin class, end class, begin constructor, end constructor, and then begin main, end main. So once you open up something, you must close it. Okay, so that's what the braces are for. We really don't need a constructor right now, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. We talked about earlier, if you watched the first video, that anything in green is comments. Okay, and it's always good to start off with author, and it's always good to put your name here. Okay, and maybe the date it was created. And if there's more than one class period, sometimes they give me 2 Java classes because everybody can't fill it in their schedule, and maybe something like period 3, and then maybe a description about the program. Okay. And notice it begins with a slash, 2 stars. Each line has a star and 1 star with a closed slash. And from this slash 2 stars to 1 star slash exists the comment. Okay. Now this is called a doc type comment. Okay. And we have 3 types of comments. And let me bring up my PowerPoint. We have 3 types of comments. We have a single line comment, which is just 2 slashes. A multi-line comment, which is a slash star star slash. In a documentations comment, it's a slash with 2 stars and 1 star slash. And we call this Java doc tool. And its main purpose is to separate the comments and make an HTML document for. Now, maybe later on in class we'll show you the API list, and we'll show you how the documents are actually used for that. But this is what you'll find in the documentation as an HTML document. Again, they act just like regular comments. All 3 basically does the exact same thing. It just shows code, but does not. The compiler totally ignores that code. Okay. So let's get back to our program. Again, these are comments here. Really don't need. Most of your program will take place in the main. Okay, we call this the main driver. the main function. It's up to you how you'll call it. Now it's up to you how you want these begins and ends. The old-fashioned way, they used to line them up. This means begin main, end main. Okay, and all your code went between this. And then later on, they started moving the begin up here just to save a line of code, which it's up to you. It's all a matter of style, your personal style. But the one thing is, this end must match up with the same letter. Notice this is all indented in, so it matches up with the P here. Okay, and notice this end matches up with this P for public. Okay, between begin and end, everything's tabbed in once. Okay, and again between begin and end, everything here is tabbed in once. Okay, so this is where you'll do your code. Okay, and notice I used a single line comment. Okay, if you want to do multi-line comments, again it's just a /* and you put comments, more comments, and I could go ahead and like that. And that's a multi-line comment. Now, when you're doing comments, I'm going to write some code you probably don't know yet. Some of you might know. Again, don't use single letters for memory locations, even though I'm using it. It's just fast to type. It's always good to put comments over here to the right. Keep it away from your code. Okay. Now we can keep this here because this basically tells us about the information who wrote it up on top here. But over here with single line comments, it's always good to keep single line comments to the right. You don't want it crashing into your code and everything looks all jumbled. Okay. We could also use comments for debugging. Okay. Let's say I have x equals 3 plus 2, and then I have y equals, oops, I forgot to put the semicolon here, that would cause an error, y equals x plus z. And again, I should tab that back. Notice from here to here everything's tabbed in 1, and from here to here everything's tabbed in 1. And if I go ahead and run this, I get an error because z has not been declared. Okay, and to see that error right there, okay, variable z might not have been initialized, meaning it hasn't been given a value, and the compiler does not know what z represent. Okay, and let's say I know this line's causing an error. I just want to make sure it's causing the error. If I go ahead and comment it out and then run it again, notice process complete, and apparently this is the line that caused me the error. Okay, so you can use comments to debug your program. If you think a line's causing you the error, go ahead and comment it out, and if the error goes away, then I know I need to concentrate on this line of code. Okay, but that's simply it for import statements. Will be next. That's it for comments. Let's see, I still have a couple minutes left. So the import statements, we go ahead and we go import, and that's a keyword. All keywords show up in blue. And we go Java dot, let's see, lang dot star. Okay, and this is one way to do an import statement, and you can think of this as library. You're going to the library and you're getting information from the library. There's tons of books, but you don't want to bring all the books down to the classroom. You just want to bring certain ones. Well, one thing about java.lang, it's automatically imported, and it already has classes in it. Think of classes as books, and this star means bring all the books on this topic. Maybe we're talking about a topic of cars. All the books that relates to cars will come in. Okay, so when we use star, so that means all classes in Lang. If we want a certain topic in Lang, just a certain class, we could go ahead and put that class in. Okay, and again, this should be a semicolon. Okay. Again, java.lang is automatically imported, so you really don't have to put anything in for java.lang. It's automatically, all the classes in java.lang is automatically imported. But there is one class called java.util. Not until, it's util. Okay, and I could go ahead and call one class is called the scanner class. Okay, which allows us to input. Okay, if I want to bring all the classes of util in, I could go ahead and put star, and that means not only would it bring in scanner, it'll bring all the other classes inside of the scanner, inside of util. Okay, and as we go through, you'll learn about which class belongs to what. It belongs to the util, which classes belong to the lang, and so forth. Let's go up. So java.lang consists of string system. System is what we use to output. Double and integer, these are called wrapper classes, and we'll talk about those later. The math class, which we'll be talking about a little bit later, because it deals with mathematic functions that we're allowed to use. Java.util, random, we'll have to create random numbers, array lists, which we'll talk about in later chapters, and some other topics. Some of these topics we will not even get to. Linked lists we usually cover at the end of the year after the AP exam. Okay, but these are some of the classes. The main ones here for java.lang, again, java.lang is automatically imported, so you don't even have to type it in, but it allows us to have access to string, system, double and integer, the comparable class, the math class, and the object class. And we'll be covering all these ones later on. And again, util, random, and array list are probably the two we'll be working with the most, and list are the three we'll be working with the most. That basically covers the import statement, and it covers comments. Hopefully it makes sense. Read over the chapter, ask questions in class. If you have anything for those doing it over the summer, again just read up on it. Again, it's Java, don't forget the dot. It allows us to gain access to the util package, which allows us to gain access to a class. Again, you can put the star, that brings in all the classes, or if you know the certain class that you want to bring in, and I think one was random, I could just bring in the random class only. Okay, so it's up to you which one you want to use. Most people just use star because it's easy and it brings in everything. Okay. And remember, import java.lang is automatically imported, so I don't need to put this statement up here for java.lang. But for me to use the scanner class, which is in the util class, a util package, I need to have this up here. Okay, so there are certain classes that we'll be working with in the java.util that must be up here. Okay, and when we talk about input, we'll need to use it. So have a nice day. Hopefully this covers a lot with comments and import statements. Okay, our next unit will be on inputting and outputting, and then data types. We might just do outputting and data types, and we'll do inputting a little bit later. Okay, have a nice day.